So, in other words, like, how did you rise? How did you rise?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, grand rising.
Mm.
All right, I'm going to mute everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. You are beautiful just the way you are. Step into the love. You're illuminated by the glory of God's love. Step into the truth. From within your abundance overflows. Our love can change one life. One life can change the world. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light, step into the love, step into the truth of who you are. I am the light of the world. You are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. So move with me. Step with me. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. Step into the light. Step into the love. Step into the truth of who you are. I am the light of the world. You are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. So move with me. Step with me. Step into the light.
Good morning, beloveds. My name is Sunshine Day, and I get to be the spiritual director of Vida Spiritual Learning Center. And welcome to our Sunday celebration service. We are all in store for a delightful morning together as we engage in spiritual practices and are reminded of the truth of who we are. I also want to just start out by saying Happy New Year. We have now entered into the year of the tiger. So want to pay respects and honor our beloveds of Asian descent who are celebrating the new year in this way. Let's be reminded of who we are by reading our vision and mission. Our vision and mission is spoken in English and in Spanish. Here we go. By valuing and empowering all, we inspire a fulfilling and joyous life. And in Spanish, it's a valorar y potenciar todo. Inspiramos una vida plena y alegre. And it is to this consciousness that I welcome you to, knowing that by valuing and empowering all, each and every circumstance, each and every person, all that we encounter, we are actually living our best life by simply being in acceptance and also creating the life that we crave. Well, we're in for a delightful morning because our practitioner this morning is our beloved Jan Hartman. And I'm going to invite us all to simply surrender our time and our attention to her gentle guidance as she leads us in a meditation and then opens us up in a word of prayer.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm grateful to share this wonderful first Sunday in February of 2022 with you all. Today, this can be a time of connecting with the eternal as you. Yes, I said the eternal as you. Here at Vida, we love to take time for spiritual practice of meditation and to see what this time has to offer us and to bring forth for each of us some new life, new love, and new feeling. Eric Maisel coined a term for deepening our experience in our life in God, as God. He named it hushing. I love that. Hushing. Quieting our busy mind and going deeper and spending time with the perfect love that is there. So why don't we do that right now? Let's hush. Breathing in and out, slowing down, finding the comfort of eyes closed or not, softening, ready to feel, sense, and know that love is all there is, and it is ours to bring forth in this world. Breathing in, breathing out, silencing all other, and ready. Hush, deepening into you, and allow me to guide you. You have come here in this physical body to expand and enhance your consciousness, to remember that not only are you one with Spirit, you are Spirit. Spirit is all that you are. You are that. I am that. You are that. All are that. So hush. Take that in. Listen to that. Learn about that. Rest in the peace that you find as God's expression of love. We are here for one thing, one purpose, to be the love and the life that God is. One purpose, many a path, each a unique journey. During this time, know that you must love yourself as God first. Love you as you are, right here, right now. Not tomorrow, not a future improved version of you. Now, you are God's creation. You are Spirit's love made manifest. Know that your life path moves ever upward as you love, accept, and believe in yourself as God's perfection. You decide what that self-love as God looks and feels like for you. You make that charge. You make that decision. The more you allow God's love to be what and who you are, the more energy you will bring to life, the more vitality you will bring to life. You will create wonder and joy right here and right now as you love yourself as the life that God is. Hush, take that in. Feel the wonder. Sense the opportunities you have for fullness. All the action in your life follows just how deeply you believe, and you have that belief in love of self as God is. Just fill your being, just fill your being with this love of self as God. And be clear, be very clear. This is the truth of all, every expression of God, all, no exception. This deep truth will present itself in all your manifestations, here and now. So welcome it. Take that in. Be filled with the joy of possibility. What will you vibrate into existence next? And now, beloveds, ever so gently, begin to collect the blessings that are revealed during this time for you. Slowly return yourself to the surroundings and your renewed self, right here in the present moment, right now. Relish the rest of this service, time together in community, and please join my heart in this prayer. Dear ones, you are refreshed, trusting that you are unified with your source, knowing to your depth that the divine is the creator of all, always. I am, you are, we are eternally connected with all that God has ever expressed, and all of it is good and perfect. We are whole. It's all God. Each unique expression of God is good and part of the essence of the life that God is. So, I, you, we are the divine community, and we now lean into Reverend Sunshine's message today, thankful for the love that pours forth from each of us, making a divine commitment to be inspired, ever desiring to offer ourselves to the world and creating more peace and more joy and more love. Surrender these words. I surrender them. I speak into the law and the love that is God, grateful to know that God is always operating. Everything is complete. It is complete. I feel it complete. I am joy-filled and joyful, and it is so very good. And so it is, and now it is. Smiling faces.
Thank you so much, Jan, for leading us in that meditation and for those words. Let's see. Reverend Kevin, would you like to do the announcements today? Looks like I'm going to do them.
I was
There you
thinking
go.
Gary was going to do the voiceover, but
Yeah, no, I'm ready. I just
Roxanne
waiting for the cue.
Go ahead, Gary.
All
You
right.
take it away. Take it away.
All right. Well, good morning, Vida. And what we like to stress at this time is that following every service, we have our minute miracles with a practitioner. And this is a time when you can be paired up with a practitioner in a private meeting room and just enjoy the time of being able to share what's on your heart and what is going to make your life more powerful. And it may be a need, something you're wanting, or it could be a joy, something that you're celebrating. Any one of those are just perfect for spending time in our ministry of prayer with the practitioner. So we certainly encourage that. And let's see, what is our next? There we go. Oh, yeah. And this is the one that, as I am a, shall I say, Spanish-speaking challenged, I'm going to pass this one back to Reverend Sunshine so that she can tell you all about this upcoming event.
This event is coming up this Wednesday, and it is Activating My Abundance. It is specifically geared for our Latino and Spanish-speaking community. We've had so many abundance courses in English, and now it's also time to up the game for our Spanish speakers in our community and in our midst. So if you know anyone who could benefit from activating their abundance, who also speaks Spanish, please invite them. It's happening this Wednesday on our Zoom, and it starts at 6 p.m. Pacific and ends at 7:30 Pacific. And it is being facilitated by our practitioner, Lily Madera. And I know she's with us today. So thank you, Lily. Muchas gracias, Lily, por poner esta clase and for having this class available to reach as many people as we possibly can. So thank you.
All right. And of course, we always want to give thanks to all of those who make these Sunday services possible. And certainly our first thanks goes out to our practitioner of the day, Jan Hartman, for her wonderful time of just giving us that presence of the divine. It's always a blessing. And of course, we have giving our talk today, Reverend Sunshine. So we certainly thank her for her prep time and getting all of that ready so that she's ready to deliver that message to us. We give thanks, of course, too, to our live stream moderators who are out there on Facebook and YouTube, just checking in with all the folks who are viewing and sharing with us this morning. Thanks also to our leadership council. They're the ones who steer the ship, if you will. And as we chart some new waters with Vida Learning Center, we're going to be counting on their guidance and their leadership. So we give thanks to them as well. And of course, our music team, who gives us all of that time to join in our singing and being spiritually fed in that way too. So we thank them as well. And to all of you, of course, for joining us. And as we emphasize spiritual practices here at Vida, we also want to take note of the idea of giving as a spiritual practice. And this is where we give back just that small percentage of all the abundance that comes to us. And we have a number of ways that you can share that abundance with us. And that is, you can send your gift to our mailbox, which is at 3350 East 7th Street, suite number 529. And that's Long Beach, 90804. You can also use your bill pay service, just like you would with any other bills on your bank account. You can use the donate button for credit card and debits, and that's available. And also, we are now offering Zelle, which is the way you can set things up for automatic payments directly from account to account. So you can send us your stuff via the email address is vida@vidaslc.org. And as we celebrate giving as a spiritual practice, we have our affirmation that we say, and I would invite us all to unmute. And we have it both in English and in Spanish, and I will choose English, and I'm sure there will be some of those who will choose Spanish. And so let's unmute ourselves and let's say that together. Here we go.
La
Abundance.
abundancia por mi vida.
Am blessed.
Estoy bendecido con prosperidad.
Generosity.
Estoy con un
High that
de generosidad.
and with a consciousness of
Sobre la fe, la creencia y con una conciencia de amor.
grows our
Y regalo la circulación divina a través de mí que ahora beneficia y hace crecer nuestra comunidad espiritual y más allá y ahora es.
What a group. Sounds great. Now let us prepare for our message this morning and silently you can sing out loud, but let's mute ourselves in the singing of In the Spirit.
I'm walking in Spirit, walking in the Spirit of one God, loving in the Spirit, loving in the Spirit, loving in the Spirit of one God.
Hi. My talk topic today, of course, is following the theme for the year, Living Everyday Wonder. In particular, we are focusing on the inner life. And this week, the topic is, who am I and why am I here? It's also called, Can I See God in Me? The way I like to put it is, can I see life in me? Can I see spirit in me? Can I see power in me? Can I see love in me? Who am I and why am I here? And one of the things that I say often is, you are the unique, unrepeatable, magnificent, powerful, beautiful way that spirit, that life, the divine is showing up in human form. When I get really enthused, I go, you're the unique and unrepeatable way that God is showing up in human form, or that God is showing up on the planet. And when I use the word God, I mean the word life, I mean the word spirit, I mean the word divine intelligence, I mean the word energetic, I mean the word life force. So whichever word resonates with you, you are the unique and unrepeatable, perfect, divine, magnificent way that life shows up. And as I was speaking last week about us being scientists, and that we approach spirituality from that perspective of prove it, what we know is that many have written that in the beginning there was life, and that life created out of itself through some act of involution. If in the beginning there was life and only life, if in the beginning there was God and only God, then through some act of involution, it created everything out of itself. Therefore, you are the unique and unrepeatable, magnificent way that life shows up in human form, or as human. I also like to talk about, what differentiates you and me from a corpse. You see, a lot of times I say that, and I don't mean it to be harsh or crass. What I really want to drive home in those moments is the idea, and actually to squash the idea that we are simply our intellect. Our culture in the U.S. has created a way of living and being that we're judged based on our intelligence, or we try to figure things out and do things, when in fact who we are mind, body, spirit, right? And so who we are is mind, body, spirit. Who we are is spirit, body, mind. And I want to start off with spirit because that is who I am first. And that is the most powerful part of me. The most powerful part of me is not my body. I love my body, but the most powerful part of me is not my body. The most powerful part of me is not my mind. The most powerful part of who I am is spirit. Because my mind is not telling my body what to do. Actually, my spirit, that life force, that energetic that is me, animates and prepares the mind, the brain, to function in such a way that it, through the act of power, it tells and it informs my body what to do. It informs your body what to do. Excuse me, in this very moment, I'm breathing and digesting food. My blood is coursing through my veins, and I didn't have to remember to do that. I didn't have to tell my brain to tell my body to do that. Spirit, that life force, that energetic, that life that is God itself, animates my body, energizes my body, activates this body and this mind so that I am living with this body, with this brain. Who I am is spirit. Who I am is the divine in human form. So when you see me, you see the unique and unrepeatable way that life, that spirit, that love, that God is showing up in human form. And guess what? If that's the truth of me, then that is the truth of you. That we get to live this life as the life of spirit in human form. So with that said, I want to dissect a little bit more because I gave you the gist of I didn't give you the gist, I gave you the whole talk right then and there. Because that is the bottom line. So let's unpack that just a little bit, right? That life energy that is me, or what some would say within me, is God, is higher power, is energy, is life force, is divine intelligence. It is a love. It is perfect. And it is my life now. I'm reminded of Dr. Ernest Holmes when he says that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And in our spiritual path and in our philosophy, our science of mind philosophy, what I love about this that really differentiates us from other from religious organizations, and there's nothing wrong with religion, but religion tells you what to think. We simply teach you how to think in that scientific method that proves spirit, that proves life, that proves love. So to learn how to think is to actually learn how to live. For what happens with our thoughts is that our thoughts are like seeds. And this is the creative process. Our thoughts are seeds. And when you plant a seed into the soil, if you plant a cucumber seed, if you're planting for cucumbers or cherries or apples, you're not going to get bananas, oranges, and grapes. The seed that you plant is what you are going to, what is going to be produced. So the soil, the earth, what it does is it says yes. It says yes to the seed that you're planting. Now you can plant that seed and then just kind of forget about it. or you can plant that seed and nourish it, nurture it. You can give it that which it needs to support its manifestation, its demonstration, it coming to life as strawberries or grapes or apples or bananas or a palm tree or whatever it is that you have already planted. You see, that is how life is. Life is that same way. There is a law and a creative process that is active in our lives right now. So when you learn how to think, you learn how to live, because you can bring into your experience that which you're calling forth, that which you crave, that which you long for, that which you want to experience in your life. But too many times, because people don't know how to think, they're creating by default. Because not only are there thoughts there, but the nurturing, the water, the sunlight, all of that stuff that is needed for that seed to grow is not present. Or we may think that we're planting a particular seed, but because we're involved in worry, doubt, and fear, we're not nourishing and nurturing that seed to grow and give us and produce what it is that it is meant to produce. So who you are is powerful, and how you think is really how you live. So if you were to take a look at your life today, your manifestations, if you were to take a look to see like where you are today and look at it and kind of go, wow, I've created my life based on my thoughts. Now, some of us might go, oh, heck no, this is not what I want. Well, guess what? You can think again. We are the sum total of our thoughts. Today, in this moment, I am the sum total of all of my thoughts and how I've nurtured those thoughts, how I take care of them, how I cradle those thoughts, right? So what thoughts are you cradling? What thoughts are you believing? Because it goes beyond just the thought. It really goes to a deeper level as to what we believe, because our thoughts become things only because those thoughts become our beliefs and they become our habits and our way of being. And therefore, here's my way of being. And it all started with a thought. Now, Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind on page 82, he also reminds us that it is in moments of real inspiration you understand, at least to some degree, that God is all, Spirit is all, and that within itself is the life in everything and the love through everything. So at some point, in some point of your moments of inspiration, when you understand that God is all, you understand that part of that three-letter word, all, that you are part of that all, that God is my life, that God is your life, and that there's no need absolutely to have worry, doubt, or fear, but that I get to support and nurture and nourish the thoughts that I think, because they become my beliefs. They become my beliefs, and when they become my beliefs, they become my life. And so when I believe that I'm separate from life, when I believe that I'm separate from my abundance, when I believe that I'm separate from peace, from joy, from health, and from wholeness, my life proves that it is by having worry, doubt, and fear. I like to call these weapons of mass distraction, that they distract us from the truth of who we are. And instead of asking, what's the best thing that can happen today? People get used to asking, what's the worst that can happen? Well, life is going to show you what the worst is that can happen. Or you can begin to ask yourself, what's the best that can happen today? You can begin to take a look and pause and go, "Boop, what am I thinking right now? Am I thinking towards what I desire to experience or what I don't want to have experience in, through, and as me?" Because there is one cosmic reality. And that cosmic reality, that cosmic presence in the universe is spirit, is life, and everything in creation originates from this one source, this one power, this one presence. It wasn't like spirit or energy or even God had a garage to tinker in and said, "Let me create humanity." It was through some act of involution and then outward expression that everything came into being. So my life is the life of God. Therefore, that also means that the same powers that God has, that life has, I have as well. And that's why when I learn to speak the word, when I learn to recognize and know who I am, I can speak and move powerfully in the world. I can move without fear, without doubt, without shame. Because I know that my life is life itself. That's who I am. And that I am here to actually live my best life, to remember that that's the truth about me. And that as I am experiencing this human experience, to have the best human experience possible. What happens as human, as a divine human, is that we're living in a world of duality, and we believe that we are our social identities. You believe that you're your race or your age or your sex or your orientation or your age, when you are in fact ageless, when you are in fact eternal, when you are perfect health and wholeness, having this human experience. Don't you know, beloved, that you're a divine creation made of that one substance, that one power, and that all of us are unique manifestations. We are each the personification of infinite spirit in this flesh suit. So what is our responsibility? When I think about, can I see God in me? Can I see life in me? Or who am I? Is it then my responsibility to remind myself of that truth and then remind others that that is their truth? And that is indeed, as spiritual director, as minister, as someone who has taken on this life of a service in this way, that is the path that I have taken to remind myself, but also to remind everyone who I come into contact with that if you know the truth will set you free. That when you know that there's nothing, no thing that can separate your life from the life of God, from the life, from the life of divine and infinite intelligence, when you know that truth, then you can fully live your life. There's only one thing happening here, and that is a life of spirit. And I am the individualized incarnation of this divine love. And so as I return to this, the way that I remember this is through my spiritual practice, through my meditation, through my prayer, through my affirmation, through my visioning, through simply being in nature and being fully present. It is through my act of loving service and contributing to humanity in the ways that I do. It is through supporting this spiritual community in all the ways that I possibly can. It is by awakening. And the way that happens is that we begin within. That we begin right here. And I ask you to just imagine yourself knowing that you are the unique and unrepeatable way that God is showing up in human form. I ask you not to identify yourself with your finances or your race or your age or your illnesses or where you live, but I ask you to identify yourself with your true nature, that you are spirit, that prana, that life force, that is who you are. What I know is that spirit is embodied in each and every person, and that each of us is the embodiment of pure spirit. That is who we are. And when I remove all the blocks, when I remove everything out of the way so that I can see clearly, I can no longer hurt and harm you, because I know that you are my other me. And to love yourself is to love the divine. To know yourself is to know the divine. And so I want to just take a moment to take us into prayer. How grateful I am in this moment to know the one power, the one presence, the one life that has created everything out of itself. Therefore, my life is this life as well. It is this life in human form. And what I know about this power and presence in life, what I know about God, is that God is love, joy, peace, abundance, that God is divine creativity, divine order, wisdom, infinite intelligence, eternal, that God is power and peace. And as this is the truth of Holy Spirit, I know that this is my truth. I know it beyond the shadow of a doubt, and I simply immerse myself and remind myself as I remind others that this is the truth. And as I become anchored in this truth, I live from here, that this is my come from. I know that in this quantum field of love, that everything is vibrating at such high levels, that my words are simply the energy of love. And that to know myself is to know higher power. To know myself is to know spirit. To know myself is to know that there's nothing that can separate my life from the life of spirit. And so it is from this place that I give thanks for my abundance, my peace, my joy, my love. I give thanks for the abundance in this community, that I give thanks for the peace and the power and the health and the wholeness of each and every member within the sound of my voice and beyond. Knowing that spirit is the source, that mind constructs, and that the visible is the result. I'm simply knowing that I'm planting seeds of love and joy and peace and abundance, and that I nurture that, and that I know that my life is one with this power and presence. Therefore, its manifestation is in complete alignment. And operating in alignment with principle, the outcome is joyous. So I give thanks. I give thanks for this truth. I give thanks that everything is coming together for our highest good. I give thanks that we are examining our lives, and that our lives are indeed worth living. I give thanks that this is the truth of who I am, and that this is the truth for each and every person. So it is from this place of peace, from this place of power, it is indeed from this place of joy that I simply give thanks. As I affirm right now our affirmation for the week, the spirit within me is God. Spirit as me is God. And that spirit is perfect. Spirit as me, in me, around me, surrounding me, is perfect. My life is the life of God. My life is the life of spirit. And I give a thanks for this. And I simply release this word now into the activity of the law. Yes, this is the seed that is being planted in the fertile ground, in that soil that says yes. And I absolutely and joyfully expect its manifestation in, through, and as my life, and in, through, and as the life of this beloved community. Because I pray believing it is done, I simply say, And now it is, and it shall be done. And so it is. Thank you, beloveds. See you next week. And before we go, we get to celebrate February birthdays, which is always a joyous time. So with that enthusiasm, let us unmute ourselves if you're on Zoom. For those of you who may be on Facebook and or on YouTube, please enter any February birthdays that you may know about. And it is now time to tell us some birthdays. Anybody got birthdays? I know we had 2 birthdays in our community. We had Reverend Dawn, who celebrated on the 2nd, as well as Angelica Guzman, our practitioner. Both of them celebrated on February the 2nd. I see Nancy says that she's got a birthday on the 23rd. Unmute and tell us your birthdays, beloveds.
My birthday is February 9th.
February 9th, Gracie. Is that Gracie? Yeah.
It is.
Thank you.
No,
And
thank you.
February the 11th.
February the 11th. Dean, it's so good to hear your voice. Okay, that's a good one too. Bertha, I see your hand.
February 22nd.
What? On the deuces?
Georgia.
On the deuces? 02, 22, 22, 2022. All right, Bertha. And it looks like Lily Madera says that her brother Uri is also on the 23rd with Nancy. Are there any others? Please unmute. I'm not seeing anything on YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
My 2 stepsons, one is on the 13th and one is on the 14th.
Perfect. I love that. My friend Goldie Mosley had a birthday on the 4th, and Tracy Brown from Centers for Spiritual Living had a birthday on the 4th. And any others before we sing?
My dad's birthday, Sean, his birthday is the 8th, February 8th.
Good deal. And I see another one was Paul. Paul on the 6th. All right. Well, beloveds, it let us now unmute, and whether we said their names or not, let us just sing with that energy, and in place of the names, we say we love you. So please mute yourselves and sing at the top of your lungs. Ready? Here we go. Happy birthday, beloveds. We're so glad that you were born. And so just a reminder that we are a praying community. We engage in spiritual mind treatment. And for those who are with us on Zoom today, know that you can have a minute miracle. For those visiting with us on YouTube and or Facebook, check the link there for a prayer request. We can actually even call you with prayer if that is of your choosing. We would love to pray with you and know the truth and cause something wonderful to happen in, through, and as your life. So we're going to close now with another prayer, and it is a prayer in song written by Sunny Day. So let us now engage in our closing prayer, and I look forward to seeing you all really soon.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts,
Go forth and multiply this consciousness. Bye for now.